Hello, my name is D.Pulford, and I am here today to discuss the idea of non-financial rewards being used as a tool in order to motivate individual employees within an organisation. To do this, I will look at a variety of theories before discussing both the advantages and disadvantages that non-financial rewards have on an organisation. Before I do this, I feel it is first important to define some of the key terms which will be used throughout this presentation, such as reward, financial, and non-financial. So what is a reward? It can be said that a reward is something given to a hard-working member of staff for the purpose to motivate them and in the hope to improve productivity and performance. A financial reward is a monetary reward, and this is often given in two ways, fixed or variable. An example of a fixed financial reward would be a pay increase, whereas a cash bonus would be an example of a variable award. And a non-financial reward is a non-cash reward which can be given in a variety of ways, which I will discuss throughout this presentation.
Firstly, it is important to ask, why do we motivate staff members? It can be said that staff members are the most valuable part to any business, and the business is only as successful as the people who work for it. If you consider that performance is dependent on skills and motivation, then it is within an organisation's best interest to ensure that its staff members are as highly skilled and as highly motivated as possible. It goes without saying that a motivated and proactive employee is likely to talk positive about their workplace and the organisation in which they work in. These employees are great free ambassadors for any organisation. Good motivation also leads to good staff retention, which immediately reduces costs and enables a business to retain its knowledge and skills in-house. As well as improving retention, it also creates a better working environment for the rest of the workforce.
The first theorist whom I believe is important to discuss when looking at non-financial rewards is Elton Mayo. Elton Mayo is said to be the father of human resource management and was the first theorist to introduce the idea that workers were not just concerned with money but could be better motivated by having their social needs met whilst at work, an idea which had been ignored by previous theorists such as Frederick Taylor. Elton Mayo is best known for his work within the Hawthorne plant during 1924. During his experiments there, Elton Mayo expected to see productivity levels decline as conditions such as lighting became progressively worse. What he actually discovered shocked him. Whether the lighting worse or better, the productivity levels of employees improved or remained the same. From this, Maslow seen that it did not matter what he changed within the factory, the production levels of workers would still rise. From this, he concluded that workers are best motivated by making them feel important, giving them a degree of freedom over choices, and acknowledging their social needs. Geoffrey Pfeiffer in 1998 also argues that by creating a fun, challenging, empowered work environment in which individuals are able to use their abilities to do meaningful jobs for which they are shown appreciation for, is likely to be a more certain way of enhancing motivation and productivity. Another theorist whom I believe is important to discuss when looking at non-financial rewards is Hertzberg. Hertzberg was a psychologist in the late 1960s and designed what is now known as the motivational rocket. We can see within the diagram that Hertzberg's motivational rocket can be split into two sections. At the base of the rocket or the platform, we have what Hertzberg describes as his hygiene factors. He believes that these alone will not motivate an employee, however, if not put into place correctly, run the risk of demotivating staff. He believes it is only by getting these factors correct can an employee begin to move into the rocket. We can see within the rocket, Hertzberg has named these the motivators, and it is these which Hertzberg believes will motivate staff members. We can see within the diagram that Hertzberg's hygiene factors contain a mixture of both financial and non-financial elements. However, in the body of the rocket, there is only non-financial elements, and it is these which Hertzberg believes will motivate staff members. Now that we have finished discussing the different theorists, we can begin to look at non-financial rewards in more depth. It is important to remember that there are 4 different types of reward categories. Although many of these are non-materialistic and relate to the psychological well-being of staff members, they also exist within the working environment. These 4 different reward categories are monetary rewards, benefits associated for working for the organisation, psychological rewards and personal rewards. Monetary rewards are what they say on the tin. These are cash reward which, as discussed earlier, can be given in two ways, fixed or varied. Benefits associated with working for an organisation tend to be in place within larger firms rather than that of small and micro. McDonald's proudly boasts of having over 1,600 retailers in which its employees can receive discount from, such as Apple, Boots, House of Fraser and even the West End Show, and of course discount on meals. Examples of personal reward are promotion and the sense of achievement and development within new skills. Psychological rewards are embedded in the work in which people do and the environment in which they work. Feeling valued and praised and part of a social community are all examples of psychological rewards. Now that we have discussed the large variety of ways in which non-financial rewards can be delivered, I feel it's important to note that although the employee will receive a non-materialistic good, there is still a cost element to the organisation in terms of opportunity loss and financial. The opportunity cost to a business is the time it will take a manager to decide and implement a non-financial reward, time which some may say could be better spent helping the organisation increase its profitability rather than rewarding its employees. As well as the opportunity loss, some organisations may encounter a financial cost when trying to introduce a non-financial reward scheme. Something which seems as simple as the Employee of the Month scheme will still require organisations to pay labour costs in order to implement and maintain the scheme. Then what happens if the Employee of the Month scheme has a photo of their employee in the crew room, then maybe even a photo frame? Little expenses like this can soon add up over time and make a significant difference to the P&L account. So with this said, what are the advantages to non-financial rewards? It's been said that non-financial rewards can help employers better reinforce the psychological bond they have with their employees. Also, in a 2007 edition of Entrepreneur, the article states that in a worldwide survey conducted, it found that employees who received a financial bonus soon forgot it happened shortly afterwards. The financial incentive there clearly did not serve a long-term motivating factor. However, there are some disadvantages to non-financial reward schemes. For example, the external economic environment can have an impact on the effectiveness of non-financial reward schemes. For example, if a company is downsizing and restructuring, then non-financial rewards may not be effective in motivating employees. Not only this, but businesses must be careful that their reward programs do not simply bribe employees to work at a satisfactory level, as this will ultimately fail. We must also remember that within any organisation there is a wide variety of workers, all which may be motivated by different things. For example, part-time workers may not be best motivated by non-financial rewards, but could be better motivated by financial rewards, as they do not have the same company loyalty to that of a full-time staff member. Although there are both advantages and disadvantages to non-financial rewards, I feel that they are still a better way to motivate employees than that of financial. After weighing up both the advantages and disadvantages, and looking at previous theorist work which is still used in companies today, such as Tesco, we can conclude that although it is difficult to implement a reward system within an organisation due to the wide variety of workers within there, non-financial rewards are still an effective tool to motivate individual employees within an organisation.